cotton blade. The cotton blade.
Gorilla Geek going 10.8. What's up, guys? I'm in the process of revamping my 72-hour kit in both my work vehicle, and it'll be all the gear that's located on the left from the Alice pack on down. And I have another one for our little passenger cars, and that's all the gear that's on the right hand side there, that large Alice pack. So I have the two Alice pack, and I'm starting to fill them in with gear that I think will be the minimum that I need to survive 72 hours out there in whatever disaster that may come around, or any situation that hopefully we will never face. So far I'm doing just the basics. I mean, it could get pretty expensive, especially if you times it by 2, and I am going the value way. Good quality materials, but has value to it where you get more bang for your buck. For instance, as far as an axe, I got the Fiskars X7 there, and then this is an older model that I used to use. Shovel, fixed blade, folders, water purification here, and then the this water purification for a bigger family of 4. Used medical kit or old one, and I got another one for my pack, and a little bit of fire going on here. Still, it's definitely not complete. I'm going slow and methodical with this stuff. So in my system down here, it's going to be a sort of a 2-bag configuration, or 2 tiers. This bag here would be my everyday carry man purse that I'll have near me all the time. I'll have my lunch in it, you know, just my everyday get through the day going to work bag. And then I have my survival kit. What I want to focus on this video is blades. A knife, a survival knife, or whatever you want to call it. Basically just a plain old knife. That was the first tool, or among many that was used since the beginning of civilization, and I think it's fitting for me to start right there. So in the family vehicle, I didn't have sort of a 72-hour bag. I had more like a 12-hour bag, if you really think about it. And what I had in there for a blade was this cheapo $1 Walmart, literally $1 knife. No name, no nothing. The thing is made out of plastic. No G10 or none of that stuff. Really cheesy serrated blade. And the steel, who knows? Who knows where this is coming from? So I really wasn't too much of a knife guy to begin with. You know, I thought, okay, whatever, it's a knife. But there is a difference. Watching all these YouTube videos and going on knife forums and stuff like that, I've found a new appreciation for the edged weapon, or not a weapon, but the edged tool. There are better choices for value, inexpensive knives that could take the place of this tenfold. For instance, my current EDC that I carry with me every day would be this Spyderco Tenacious. Inexpensive. eBay, this thing cost me, I don't know, $20 I think, and I love this knife so much. I mean, this is pretty good. It's light, inexpensive, like I said. I love the flat grind blade on there. The shape of the blade itself. What is there not to like? And if you do any sort of research on this blade, there's not much anybody says bad about this particular knife at all. So this is what I carry every day. And this little thing, this is probably one of the first videos that I've ever made on YouTube, and it's the Gerber EAB. It's just a folder for a utility razor, and I use this almost every single day. I use this more so than any of these other devices put together, and I still carry this to this day. This is going on 2 years, I think. It's got a little bit of jiggle on the hinge there and everything, but it's still going strong. And I have like 3 or 4 of them just spread out in my tool bag, my toolbox, in my vehicle. It's all over the place, and this is only like was $10. So I carry this every day. You see me, you're gonna find this in my pocket. This as well, but not as often as this. Some years ago, I treated myself and brought myself a fixed blade knife. And I came up with this. The Bark River Bravo 1 in CPM V3 steel. And when I was doing some research on the internet and also YouTube, of course, I came upon this one channel called Virtual Vice, and this Japanese gentleman, this is his fetish, the Bark River line of fixed blade knives. I mean, you go on his channel, which will be linked below. It is awesome. It pretty much puts you to sleep, but in a good way. I mean, it's like he's like telling you a bedtime story about knives and how to sharpen them and stuff like that. It's probably one of my favorite channels out there. And all the videos that he put out and everything, he gives this knife A++ rating. It's 4 inches long. There's a little jimping here, supposedly is for striking the fire steel, but I don't like striking the fire steel on this location here. I might as well just take it on the spine right here. It actually scratches up your micarta handle there quite a bit. But yeah, this just feels really good. It's semi-custom made, meaning that it's everything. This knife is assembly line but hand built, if that makes sense. And this is really nice. It's sharp as hell, convex edge, and I learned a lot about knives and grinds and stuff like that. But that pretty much is going to be sort of my camping knife when I plan on going on camping out there in the field or whatever. Then I'll take this guy with me and have it with me. But for a bug out bag, for instance, on my wife's or our passenger vehicle and my work truck, there's one thing I just want to worry about, and that is theft. It would really disappoint me if this thing is ever stolen because it's inside my vehicle. So in lieu of this for the vehicles in the bug out bag, I've decided on replacing it with the Mora Companion, and this particular model is called the Heavy Duty, and this is what you get from the factory. The Heavy Duty meaning the blade is 3 millimeters thick. The other blades that they have previously is only 2 millimeters, 2 point something millimeters. So this is a thicker blade for bushcrafting, batoning wood, whatever you want to do out there. Anything heavy duty, I guess. The video does not make any justice towards this. You actually have to hold one in your hand to appreciate the quality of this Scandinavian made knife. Sharp as hell right out of the box. I got the carbon steel version, so I have to give it a little bit more tender loving care to make sure it doesn't rust on me. But that's okay. I'm going to go into those bags every so often and actually use them in camping, because that's going to be our backup camping gear along with us. So it's not going to be just for 72 hours of shit hitting the fan. It's going to be used as much as possible. But this is the replacement, and you think this might cost a lot of money and everything, but this particular version costs $20. In contrast with $180 that I paid for the Bravo 1 here. So I don't mind if this gets stolen. I'll be disappointed, of course, but I'm not going to cry over it. When I was cutting up some chicken, I used this in the kitchen quite a bit. I put it in the dishwasher and left it there overnight by accident. I just forgot about it. So when I returned the next afternoon, there were rust spots on the blade itself, so it easily gets rusted. So what I did was I cleaned it off, of course, and I did a forced patina on the blade itself to give it that extra protection, and then afterwards I put in a little bit of frog lube on it to give it even more protection. And these are the two knives side by side, and they're exactly the same, but this one just has the patina on it, and it was still sharp after I placed the patina. I was able to make a meal with this. I take it to the kitchen with me to test it out to see how it is. For food preps it would do, but you see the second grind there, the first bevel, then the second bevel. When you're cutting like onions or something like that, it'll hit on that shoulder there, and you won't get, I mean, it cuts really well, but it's not like a flat grind blade that would just go like butter through the onion or whatever vegetable or meat that you're cutting. But it works. It still works, and I'll show you video on what that looks like. Then no explanation needed. On one I'll have a lightweight axe, and this one here I've been using for about 3 years. And it's easy to put sharpen the edge on this. Bulletproof. I mean, and I have another one, a much updated version of this particular Fiskars. This one is called the X7, and the axe head is slightly a bit an ounce or two heavier than this axe head, but really good knife, and it'll last you quite a while. Of course, a multi-tool. No explanation needed there. I have an older one that I used to carry quite a bit before I updated, so that's going to go into the Corolla. And I have a Leatherman Charge titanium that I carry with me most of the time. Usually, like I said, I have a 2-tier bag system, and this is my everyday bag. This will be in there or on my person at all times. And then the smaller folding knife for the wife's car, just for an extra blade in there that I don't use often, or I did, but it's been replaced by the Spyderco Tenacious. And then for my vehicle or my everyday carry bag, I have the Spyderco Resilience, and this is a 4-inch blade. And the reason why I have this here along with that bag is in California it's considered a concealed dirk and dagger to have a fixed blade knife of any size concealed upon your person, like in your back pocket with the you know, your garment over it. It has to be physically shown and displayed, open carried, so you could legally carry this out in public. And here I have my bag. If I carry this bag with me out in public and have this fixed blade knife inside the bag, I could be busted for having a concealed fixed blade, unless I have the blade affixed outside the pack there, where it's visibly noticeable for everyone out in the real world. But I don't want to display my knives like that unless I'm out in the woods or where I need access to it, and I sure don't want to display it out in the urban areas or anything. I'll just look like some sort of goober that thinks he's Piranha Perez, you know, the Latin version of Crocodile Dundee. So I don't really want to advertise out there or alarm anybody that, hey, fixed blade knife, this goober's walking the streets, you know, thinking he's, you know, Tarzan or something. So in place of this 4-inch blade and it's no really substitute, no true substitute for it, but something similar to it. That's why I have the Resilience here, which is a 4-inch blade, the same, almost the same or similar size to this blade here, and it's also the same size as my premium fixed blade knife here to it. The only difference between these three is, of course, this being a folder, is that I'm legally able to carry this concealed on my person, whether inside my bag or in my pocket, depending on what city and county that you're in. I mean, but where I usually frequent most often would be, it's perfectly legal for me to have this, so I can have this in lieu of the fixed blade on my everyday carry bag that I'll have with me or close to me at all times. But in the vehicle, I'll have this in the backup bag or the 72-hour bag inside my work vehicle in case I need a fixed blade knife. This is going to stay home unless I'm using it to go hiking or camping, something planned. This stuff out here, this fixed blade equipment here, is for unplanned events. That would also be used for planned events like camping, and I don't have to pack the car with gear, extra gear from the house, where I have this stuff in there, and that in turn would help me use this item and test it out while we're having fun. Well, there you have it. Those are my choices for the 72-hour bag, which will double as a camping bag or whatever. It's going to be multi-use. So this is the outcome of all that stuff I've been cutting up earlier. Brought to you by Mora Companion MG for military green with a forced patina to protect the blade from corrosion. Here we have Spanish rice. This is butter beans out of a can and tomato sauce. And here we have chicken with cherry tomatoes and mushrooms cooked on top of a skillet. Gorilla Geek going 10-10. Bon appetit.